said, this is a human rights conference, and we're taking a moment to be present and thoughtful about women and how we feel in the world, and also our role in the world. And you guys were doing intros, and as everyone was speaking, I was looking around, and I feel so fortunate to have just met the two of you. I've virtually grown up with Alexis, and the rest of you guys have been friends of mine for years, and I was like, God, my friends are pretty. Like, look at all these girls, they're beautiful. And I was struck looking out at all of you guys, thinking like, look at what a beautiful audience of women this is. And I think that as we get older and as we are sort of more present in ourselves, we understand what beauty means. Because, for example, Lex and I went to college together, and I'm guessing a lot of you guys are in college, and you were saying there was somebody who was like, oh, look at her with the perfect life. And maybe it was because they sat behind you in Spanish class every day and looked at your hair, and were like, that's the kind of bitch who makes everybody want to get hair extensions. By the way, that's all her hair. I'm full on it, and it really is. And I could never grow that hair. I just can't, but it's fine. And I think when we're young, it's like we grow up with a Disney princess who gets rescued by the prince. We grow up being told, you know, you're going to go through shit, and then you're going to meet a guy, and he's going to break your heart, and then it'll happen again, and then finally you'll find the right guy, and then everything will be amazing. And that's not the truth. And you're not going to find the guy or the girl who loves you forever because you're beautiful. That's boring. You know, I've dated some really cute guys, you guys, and they're, like, if they're boring, they're boring. You know, I don't care. Like, the second dinner ain't happening if you are as vanilla as, like, Haagen-Dazs ice cream. So, the mere outer shell is not valuable, but it gets validated a lot. We are constantly judged on our appearance and on do we fit into a box. And part of what I think is exciting about what we're seeing happening in movements like this is we're talking about what is the merit of your soul, what is the measure of your being, not what size do you fit into. And zero is not a size came from me kind of mocking my own business, being like, guess what, I like breakfast. Only the meals that come afterwards. I have a really bad habit of like going to see rock and roll shows and eating pizza at 2 in the morning. And I used to work with a lot of people who I would watch eat a power bar and a banana on a 16-hour shoot day, and I was like, I'm going to go and eat a candy bar. What? And I started to think, you know, here I am, I got to work on the same show for 9 years. I've been a 0, I've been a 2, I've been a 4, I've been a 6, I've been a 4, I've been a 2. I kind of don't care. When I'm happy, I'm a little fatter. I like it. My boyfriend's great. Like, I'm wearing a bigger size of jeans right now because we go out to dinner a lot, and that's fine. And what was interesting to me is for you guys that are like, yeah, you did it for 9 years. I'm assuming none of you were like, she gained 10 pounds, ugly. That's so irrational. And so that's where it came from, for me, talking to the writers about what is this absurd pressure that we put on women and that people want to put on me. Like, I could go get photographed at something, and I've learned a long time ago not to read the comments, so if you ever want to leave me one, tweet me. Don't put it on a website, because I won't read it. And it's like, one person is like, you are just the most beautiful, and the next person's like, you fat bitch, I hope you burn in hell. Wow, alright, cool. And so, I'm obviously being long-winded here, because it's a big thing, but the idea is, what about me as a person is defined by whether or not I wear a size 0 or a size 6? What about any of you? What about if you have short hair, if you have long hair commercial hair, if you have this like sexy accent because you're South African and like guys wilt at bars when you start talking to them. Like I love what happens when I watch my friends being these beautiful women, because it's not about like, I'm so pretty. It comes from inside. We get gorgeous when we get conscious. We get confident when we get concerned. And you're right, life is about consumption. If life, when you're sitting next to your best friends, is like, you're in your head being like, bitch, I wish I was that skinny, or I wish I was that tall, or I wish my boobs were that big. What is the purpose of that? It's not helping anyone. All those moments that you spend thinking about what size am I, you could be doing something for the world, for yourself, for your family, for your neighbor, and I think that's the change. That's something that Lex promotes, that's something that all these women promote, that's something our group of friends really works on, is we collaborate. We do not compete. And that makes us badass, and that makes us the girls you want to hang out with. And it's something that I think you guys are all proving. You're spending your weekend here talking about the world, not talking about, I don't know, Kim Kardashian's baby. Like, her baby had a baby. I don't care. I care about this. And I think for me, the whole idea of starting zero is not a size on the show, and being given that by my writers who got sick of hearing me talk about it, and we're like, fine, God, we'll write it in. And now being able to talk to young women about that, that's the point. We're saying we want to collaborate. We don't want to define you by this. We